Hello guys, Tops here. Today, how does Underdog work in Battle Rush? So, any defense malus to being surrounded by opponents no longer applies to this character. If an attacker has the Backstabber perk, the effect of that perk is negated, and the normal defense malus due to being surrounded is applied instead. So, if you are surrounded, that means more than one opponent is engaging you in your zone of control. They get, for every surround, so for every +1, they get plus 5% hit chance against you. If they have Backstabber, they get plus 10. If you have Underdog, they don't get plus 5% hit chance. If they have Backstabber and you have Underdog, they only get the 5% hit chance. So Underdog counters Backstabber. Pretty nice. So obviously it's a tier 5 level 6 perk. Obviously you want to use Underdog on your frontliners who are constantly getting surrounded. So Underdog is again one of these perks that I take on almost every bro that is in my frontline, because it gives me highly valuable melee defense and it works passively. So even if I'm stunned or if I'm routed or something is happening to me or my opponents go first, this always works. As soon as 2 opponents engage me in melee, I get plus 5 defense basically. Unlike stuff like reach advantage, where I have to hit my opponent and my opponent cannot go first to get this buff, like this just works. Like I cannot attack my opponents when I'm stunned. Underdog just negates a very important game mechanic, and that is the surround bonus. Using and abusing this mechanic is part of the game, because most opponents do not have Underdog. So surrounding your opponent is a very important trick, especially early on, to get additional hit chance, dagger them down, get some armor, break them. And Underdog just helps your brothers, especially in the late game fights where you basically always are outnumbered, you always get surrounded. It helps you survive. So auto pick on tanks, auto pick on frontliners for me. You can get away with not taking it on your brothers in the center of your formation, where you can say, if I stay in a straight line, I only get surrounded by 1, so that one opponent has like plus 5% chance to hit me, but like I rather have another offensive or defensive perk, right? So you can get away without Underdog. Also, I think I went into Monolith with like Peasant Militia. If you have a lot of bros, you don't need too much Underdog because you are less likely to get surrounded. And I think I did Black Monolith without Underdog. A lot of brothers didn't even have Nimble with Militia. It was quite funny. You can watch the video. So Underdog is for me an auto pick on my frontliners because of this round. And especially if you get used to that you have Underdog all the time, you play very aggressively with your bros. So you can position them in a tile where they are surrounded by 3 opponents and you don't have to fear, right? Because if you had Underdog now, your opponents have plus 10% hit chance against you. But with Underdog, you can position your brothers extremely aggressive versus multiple enemies and just smash them to bits. That's what I like. And let's check out Turtle's guide. Let's see what he has to say. He does a lot of complicated math that I'm a lot of the time not to do with. Okay, Underdog, Backstabber cancel each out, giving normal surround bonuses. So normally, if you fight opponents like zombies or snakes who have like Backstabber, if you don't have Underdog, you just get ripped apart, right? If you have Underdog, you have a decent chance of not getting hit, right? Still. Okay. Worth 5 melee defense versus most opponents, 10 against 3 and so on. Does not provide extra benefits against enemy 2 range pole arm strikes compared to direct melee attackers. Again, see Backstabber if you know how surrounding works. So this one does not work with against pole arms, sadly. So Backstabber pole arms are pretty nasty. Ancient Undead, you guys know those nasty pikes, man. But still, like most opponents don't have pole arms. They just have normal melee attacks, which is pretty nasty. So Underdog still nice in a lot of circumstances. Yeah, and also like Underdog, I love these perks, stuff like Pathfinder, Underdog, which kind of negate basic game mechanics. So you can play the game completely differently with these perks. And Underdog is one of these perks that completely changes a bro and the way you can play. Yeah, tanks, edge bros, surround guys. Yeah, against snakes, if you get grabbed and you are surrounded by 6 snakes, if you don't have Underdog, they have plus 50% or yeah, plus 50% hit chance against you. If you have Underdog, they only get plus 25, so that's a huge difference. Misconception, Underdog is an auto pick on every frontliner. Yeah, I do it on every frontliner, but you can get away with not doing it. But then you have to be mindful with your brothers and how you position them. Let's check in the in-game really fast on what kind of bros I take it. Not surprisingly, on almost everybody who is in the front line. Underdog, this guy is a backline, no Underdog. But everybody, tank, archer no, polearm, yes, archer no. Everybody who's in the front line, at least in my roster, has Underdog. I think it's a playstyle thing. If you are very mindful with your brothers and you super min-max every fight and you are super patient and you make sure that your underdogs, that your brothers who don't have Underdog never get surrounded, then you can get away with, especially like these center guys, with not picking Underdog. But again, I'm used to having Underdog on everybody, so I pick it on everybody. And I think Underdog is one of these perks that works in like bad, when stuff goes wrong, right? When orcs are pushing through and now your brother is surrounded. In that kind of scenarios, Underdog shines, right? And if you don't have Underdog in that scenario, you might just lose a bro to like bad RNG, or you make a positioning mistake and then it's like, yeah, dead bro. All right. Guys, please tell me in the comments down below how you use Underdog, and thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Have a nice day. Bye bye.